afternoon. I'm Nancy Brown, Dean of Yale School of Medicine, and it is my honor to welcome you, the family, friends, faculty, and class of 2029 to this year's White Coat ceremony. I'd also like to share that Provost Scott Strobel is in the house and speaking to, I think, the support that we enjoy and the collaboration across the university. So, class of 2029, you are surrounded by families and friends, and now mentors and teachers who are vested in you and in your success. We particularly welcome your families and are grateful for the support and the values that they have given you. And families, you've given us hope in the future, so thank you. Your families have no doubt shaped you. They've instilled in you a love of education and science and qualities of compassion and empathy that have led you to choose the profession of medicine. They've nurtured you, encouraged your aspirations, challenged you to reach higher, and supported you when that reach was pretty tough. Many have made significant sacrifices for you to be here, and you have realized the opportunity that they've given you. 9 of you are the first in your families to graduate from college. Your families represent cultures from all around the world. In fact, 26 of you were born outside the United States in 16 different countries: Canada, China, Dominican Republic, Germany, Ghana, India, Kenya, Korea, Mexico, Nigeria, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, South Africa, Turkey, and the UK. You've graduated from 53 different colleges. 3 of you have or are currently serving in the military. 28 of you attended public institutions for college. And the 104 of you were selected from more than 6,200 applicants to the Yale School of Medicine. So in every sense, you bring diversity in your experiences, and you are also one of the most accomplished classes that we have ever enrolled. And you prove for us the evidence, you provide evidence for the possibility of inclusive excellence. You are here because of who you are as individuals and because of who we think you have the potential to become as physicians and scientists. In a short bit, you're going to don a white coat, and the white coat was originally developed as a measure of infection control and has come to symbolize science, but it also has come to symbolize professionalism and humanitarian ideals. And curiosity is the element that's common to both the scientific and the humanistic underpinnings of the practice of medicine that are symbolized in this white coat. And during your medical career, I think even in the next coming weeks, you will begin to understand that the best way to care for human beings who are your patients is to understand the mechanisms of the conditions with which they are afflicted, and to discover mechanisms of conditions we don't currently understand. You will learn, and I think it's particularly important today, that the best of intentions without knowledge can cause harm. And conversely, you will understand that science and medicine practiced without regard to individual humanity and ethics is irresponsible. At the end of this ceremony, you will recite a white coat pledge committing to serve your patients. Acknowledging the dignity of the individual patient is fundamental to our profession, and it supersedes all other ideologies. It requires curiosity, listening more than speaking. And as we begin this academic year at a time of some polarization in our country, we derive hope from the knowledge that you will listen to each other and the diverse members of your community as you, quote, pledge to communicate effectively, respectfully, and compassionately, and to conduct ourselves in accordance with professional and ethical standards, and you vow to recognize the influence of our biases and to challenge ourselves. In a time of disruption, we must reevaluate all of our assumptions, work differently, and ensure that our values drive our actions. We have high expectations, but like your family, we will support you in reaching those expectations. The Yale System of Medicine offers an amazing environment in which you can hone your curiosity. The fundamental element of this system is that we treat you as mature individuals, motivated to learn, requiring guidance and stimulation rather than compulsion or competition for relative standing. And as a student in the Yale system, you will learn from a Howard Hughes investigator, a master clinician in the hospital, the health advisor to the governor, a scholar of literature or history, from your patients, from your community, from alumni, and from each other. Your advisory house will bring these people together. As a member of this supportive community, you will discover joy in learning and discovery and in caring for your patients and each other. Welcome. And now it's my honor to welcome Dr. Jessica Luzzi, Deputy Dean for Education, to the podium. Dr. Luzzi has been Deputy Dean since January of 2021 and has been very active in medical education. Prior to that, serving as the director of our advanced training program. Dr. Luzzi is also the Harold Jockers Professor of Medical Education and Professor of Obstetrics and Gynecology. Dr. Luzzi.
Thank you, Dean Brown. I want to thank and introduce the Yale School of Medicine faculty and medical education leaders who are joining us on the stage this afternoon. They will be helping you don your white coats later in this ceremony, as I know they will also be assisting you throughout your medical education. Dr. Sarvit Chowdhury, if you could stand. You can hold your applause till after I go through everyone. Dr. Chowdhury, along with Dr. Erica Herzog, is Associate Dean for Student Research. Dr. Chowdhury is also a Professor of Medicine and co-director of the National Clinical Scholars Program. She first came to Yale School of Medicine in 2001 for the Robert Wood Johnson Clinical Scholars Program. Dr. John Francis. Dr. Francis is our Associate Dean for Student Affairs. Dr. Francis provides career guidance, academic, and personal support to all YSM students throughout their time at Yale. Dr. Barbara Kazmierczak. Dr. Kazmierczak directs the MD-PhD program at Yale. This program, which provides formal training in biomedical research as well as medicine, is one of the oldest such programs in the country and has an outstanding track record for training physician scientists. Dr. Jeremy Muller. Dr. Jeremy Muller is the Associate Dean for Curriculum. He assures that the courses and other educational activities are relevant, vibrant, and address the issues our students will face in their quest to become outstanding physicians. Dr. Manuel Paris. Dr. Paris is the Acting Assistant Dean of Admissions, Chair of the Interviewing Admissions Committees, and an invaluable member of the admissions team, working tirelessly to recruit applicants to YSM. Dr. Paris is also a professor of psychiatry and both the Director of Clinical Research and Deputy Director of Hispanic Services at Connecticut Mental Health Center. Dr. Jaydeep Talwalkar. Dr. Talwalkar is our Associate Dean for Educational Technology and Innovation. He leads YSM in identifying and thoughtfully integrating emerging technology in all aspects of our undergraduate, graduate, and continuing medical education programs, with the goal of enhancing teaching and learning, increasing learner engagement, and promoting collaboration in the classroom and clinical settings. Dr. Marieta Vazquez. Dr. Vazquez is the Associate Dean for Collaborative Excellence and Student Engagement. She oversees the strategic deployment of resources and coordinates the activities in the area of recruitment, retention, and professional development of students who are underrepresented in medicine. Also joining us today are Dr. Wilma Korivar, class of 1977 and the current Vice President of the Association of Yale Alumni in Medicine, and the and the Chair of Agents for the Yale School of Medicine Alumni Fund. Dr. Alexei Nazem. He is actually the Chair of Agents for the Yale School of Medicine Alumni Fund. He is a graduate of the Yale School of Medicine in 2012. I'll let Dean Brown return to the podium to introduce our guest speaker.
Thank you. It's really a treat to introduce our guest speaker, who is an individual whose work stands at the intersection of medicine, spirituality, and humanism, Dr. Benjamin Doolittle. Dr. Doolittle wears many hats and wears them with deep compassion and integrity. He's the program director of our combined internal medicine and pediatrics residency program and the medical director of the Faculty Resident Continuity Clinic at Yale. He's board certified in both medicine and pediatrics. His clinical practice centers on the care of adults facing some of the most complex and difficult conditions, including addiction, HIV, and hepatitis C. But Dr. Doolittle's work extends far beyond the exam room. As an ordained minister with a Master of Divinity from Yale Divinity School, he brings a unique and deeply human lens to the practice of medicine, one that recognizes the whole person. Dr. Doolittle also serves a local urban congregation, and he is a professor of religion and health at Yale Divinity School, where he continues to explore the vital connections among faith, wellness, and the practice of healing. His research has tackled some of the most urgent issues facing the medical profession today: burnout, emotional resilience, and the role of spirituality in chronic disease. And for his excellence in teaching and humanism, Dr. Doolittle has earned many awards, including the ACGME's Courage to Teach Award, Yale's Leonard Toe Humanism Award, and the Leah Lowenstein Award. Whether he's mentoring young physicians, caring for underserved patients, guiding a congregation, or exploring the soul of medicine itself, Dr. Doolittle models the kind of leadership and empathy we aspire to in both the healing professions and the broader human community. Please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Benjamin Doolittle.
Okay, everybody. Greetings and good cheer to one and all, class of 2029. You are here, you've made it, and did you ever think in your wildest imagination at the beginning of this journey that you would be sitting here at the Yale Medical School white coat ceremony? Amazing, right? That's totally amazing. You've already accomplished something marvelous and special and wonderful. So special congratulations to everyone sitting behind the velvet line there, the family members, the loved ones, the siblings, the special people. We know that medicine is a team sport, and the folks up here wouldn't be here without your love and your care and your guidance, your friendship. And on a somber note, a special remembrance to those close to you who could not be here for whatever reason. At such happy moments such as this, the absence of those whom we love is often felt so very, very deeply. But the absence of those whom we love does not mean the absence of their love. And so, Dean Brown, Dean Aluzzi, thank you for this happy honor. Thank you so much. I'm grateful to be in this special place at this special moment. If you are baffled, class of 2029, if you are baffled about why you are here, well, we have something in common, because I also am baffled about why I am here to address you. Because, you know, at Yale, there are many, many people who are legit famous people, like Nobel Prize winners, like MacArthur Genius Grant, like seriously famous people. One of the famous people is here. Shout out to Dr. Jose Costa. He was my thesis advisor. Well, back in the last millennium, and we haven't seen each other in many years, and you came, right, to think, what is this kid going to say next? I'm not quite sure yet. Okay, so there are those who are legit famous. I am not one of those. Also at Yale, there are the people who think they are famous. There are many more of those. And I am certainly not one of those. I have no pretensions about my mediocrity here in this august assemblage. Now, my one consolation about being invited to give the white coat ceremony talk is that you're so jazzed, hot, hungry, that you will forget what I am about to say. And how do I know that? I asked my residents, the greatest residents in the world, the MedPeds residents, I asked them, hey, you remember what someone said at the white coat ceremony? And none of them could remember a single thing. So I got that going for me. Yeah, that's nice, right? Like, yeah, Dean Brown just said, preach it. But your short attention span notwithstanding, and perhaps it's on my own vanity or hubris that I would endeavor to plant an idea in your spirits. This is what I hope to do, that you might remember what I'm about to say, because what I'm about to say has actually shaped my practice of medicine for my whole life. It shapes every patient interaction. It informs my research. It's what I pass on to learners. And it's really just one rule. I just got one rule from which everything else flows in medicine, and it's this. All right, this is it, right here. The medicine is easy. And I realize that might be a surprise for you given how hard you all worked to get here and how much you sacrificed, and you are all about to memorize the Krebs cycle and the anatomy of the brachial plexus and the word salad of all those medications. But you know what, folks? You can do that. You are gifted and talented, so smart. You can figure that out, the A, B, C, D, E, all of the above, et cetera, et cetera. The medicine is easy. And these days, you just go to this thing called the Chat Google AI Sphere PT. So you don't even have to know that much, really. But the second part of what this maxim is really, really, really important. So the medicine is easy, everything else is hard. Everything. Everything else is hard. Medicine is really, really hard for our patients. It's so easy to write a prescription for an HIV medication that's one pill once a day, and these days the pills are even small and they don't have that many side effects. But for that human being to take that medicine every day means a whole bunch of things need to happen. You have to figure out how to do something every single day. You have to get to appointments. You have to pay for it. You got to figure out insurance. You got to explain to families what that orange bottle is doing in their medicine cabinet, and on and on and on and on. Medicine is easy, and everything else is hard. Medicine is easy, and everything else is hard. But more than that, your patient needs to believe in you. Your patient needs to trust you that this is the right thing to do. Your patients need to believe in you and believe in themselves. They need to believe that they have the dignity and the self-worth to take this life-saving medication. That's hard, folks. That's hard. Easy to write the prescription. Hard to believe in that medicine. Hard to believe. Hard to believe. The medicine is easy, and everything else is hard. You know who else it's hard for? It's hard for you, everybody here. It's hard for you, for me, for doctors, for everyone in healthcare. I've been studying burnout and human flourishing. It comes in all these different names. Burnout, human flourishing, thriving, intersection of medicine and all that stuff for more than 25 years. And I'm always surprised by the data. It's fascinating, right? What they read, all the fabulous schools and your accolades and all that. We know, though, that 1/2 of you, class of 2029, 1/2 of you meet criteria for burnout. We know that 1/4 of you have a significant mental health challenge, anxiety, depression, and on and on. And the irony is that the patients we care for, that we have a higher prevalence of that stuff than the patients we care for, than the patients we serve. And I've been following the data for decades, and the numbers might change and go up and down, and it might change for you throughout your career. But more or less, the numbers are the same. The numbers haven't changed. And so here you are. You are at the very top of academic accomplishment. And there are thousands of people who would give anything to sit where you are sitting right now. But in many ways, you have arrived here a little broken. And that we are all a little broken. And I'm struck that the very qualities that brought you here, the very qualities that earned your admission here, the discipline, the ambition, the brains, all that stuff, those are the exact same qualities that make us all a little nuts, right? So David Brooks and a lot of theologians and others, they've written a lot about resume virtues and eulogy virtues. And the resume virtues are the list of all your accolades, your accomplishments, your titles, your publications. It's the stuff on your resume. And your eulogy virtues are what people say about you at your eulogy. That you were a good parent, a good friend, but you cared for your patients, that you modeled love and compassion for the world. And I recognize that we live in a world that overemphasizes the resume virtues, and you certainly have a fabulous resume, and you certainly look keen about your resume virtues because you're here, right? You're here. But we also live in a world that craves the connection, the authenticity, the true power, the joy, the love of rich eulogy virtues. And in your own life, I invite you to reflect upon the people who influenced you the most. Those people who shaped your heart and your spirit. Now, they may have had strong resume virtues, but they certainly had strong eulogy virtues. Now, the good news is this, class of 2029, you have been chosen to be at Yale not only because of your resume virtues, but because of your eulogy virtues. You are smart and talented, and that is true for many decades. One student who was in will be passing your white coats out, Dr. Alexi. So you are here because of your resume virtues. You are also here because of your eulogy virtues. And for our patients, for the world, we need both. The medicine is easy, and everything else is hard, and the resume virtues are not enough. Our patients ache for not just a competent physician, but one who is wise and kind and honorable. And I do believe that we can lean into the ways where we are broken to discover our true power, our true humanity as healers. And to cultivate those eulogy virtues requires a moral courage and a humility and a support from a community like Yale Medical School. The world needs you. Patients need you. All of you. Now, each summer, for the past several years, I've had the joy of teaching a philosophy course here at Yale Medical School. It's a course called Life Worth Living, modeled after a course taught at the undergraduate campus, and you guys can take the course next summer. So, to be a Yale Medical student means that you can do anything. The vastness of the world is at your feet. You can crunch big data, you can replace heart valves, you can clone genes, you can do anything. But to quote the poet Mary Oliver, what are you going to do with your one wild, fabulous, marvelous, crazy, wonderful life? So in this class, Life Worth Living, that's the question that we explore. And so I crowdsourced this talk. I said to the gang as a homework assignment, if you were giving the white coat talk, what would you say? And a second-year med student, a rising second year med student. Her name is Comfort Abua, and she's standing right next to my thesis advisor right there. That's her. And she's 1 year ahead of you. And she gives me permission to use this quote, and I, with all loving sternness, I insisted that she come and acknowledge this. So she's here with, mixed feelings, but that's where she is. So this is what she said, and by acclamation, the folks in the class wanted me to read this to you. The white coat is not a symbol of perfection. It is a symbol of your commitment to show up, to listen carefully, to keep learning, and to care even when you're tired or uncertain. Patients will come to you not just for knowledge, but for hope, clarity, and presence. When an answer or diagnosis is not possible, remember that one of the most powerful things you can offer is your ability to sit with another human being in their moment of need with honesty and compassion. Let this code remind you of that privilege and of the kind of person you are becoming, not just the professional you are training to be. That's from my friend Comfort. It's always a special moment when the teacher becomes the student and the student becomes the teacher. So we got your resume virtues, we got your eulogy virtues, and the medicine is easy, everything else is hard. Class of 2029, be glad that you have landed at Yale Medical School, where all of your virtues will be encouraged. I got good news. You will weep. You will rejoice. You will serve. You will flourish. And as we say, onwards in hope. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. At this time, I will invite Dr. John Francis, our Associate Dean for Student Affairs, to introduce the class of 2029. When he calls your name, please rise, come to the stage. A faculty member will help you don your white coats. We'll take a photo together. And then Dr. Wilma Korovar and Dr. Alexei Nazem will provide you with stethoscopes. And then you can return to your seats. So, John.
Thank you, Dean Brown. Good afternoon and welcome to the class of 2029, and welcome to everyone else who joins us this evening for this monumentous occasion. We call each student to the stage in alphabetical order by last name. As you exit the stage to my right, please watch your step and return to your seat. I kindly ask that you please hold your applause until all the students have received their coats, and we'll have an opportunity at the end to applaud and recognize the entire class of 2029 together. Let's begin. Hanifa Ali from Emory University. Grace Hunley Ellen from Harvard University. James Alvin from the University of Wisconsin. Kanhai Amin from Yale University. Michael Apia Kubi from New York University. Benjamin Fox Aronson from the University of California, Santa Barbara. William Bai from Tulane University. Anton Bankoff from the University of Pittsburgh. Catherine Alexandra Barrett from Baldwin College, entering the MD PhD program. James Barta from Southern Methodist University. Kali Bianchi from Harvard University. Catherine Brown from Dartmouth College. Angela Casellas from Stanford University. Juan Castillo from Harvard University. Zachary Chapman from Tulane University. Matthew Chen from the University of Chicago. Victoria Chen from Brown University. Viveka Chinnasamy from Johns Hopkins University. Asha Cohen from the University of California, Berkeley. Mel de Blasio from Yale University. Betty Duran Becerra from Columbia University. Amy Ann Ezaya from Swarthmore College. Blaine Eldred from the University of California, Los Angeles, entering the MD PhD program. Manith Prem Elendula from the Ohio State University. Aisha Erdemir from Brown University. Abigail Fisher from Dartmouth College. Thomas Flannery from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Ryan Fryer from the University of Connecticut. Hubert Galan Vargas from Dartmouth College. Enrique Gunn from the University of Pennsylvania. Diego Luis Garmendia Cameron from Vanderbilt University. Johanna Gabriel Hans from the University of Southern California. Connor Ryan Gibson from Harvard University. Matthew Greenwald from Duke University. Catherine Gross from Clark University, entering the MD PhD program. Arthur Hamilton from Cornell University. Ji Woo Han from Amherst College. Nathan Hansen from the University of Utah. Richard He from Columbia University. Gabrielle Hirsch from Northwestern University. Chibikem Iyagaran from Fisk University. Bryn Jacobs from Harvard University. Madison Elizabeth Jewell from University of Chicago, entering the MD PhD program. Greta Amelia Chemistron from University of Washington, Bothell Branch, entering the MD PhD program. Stuti Kundwala from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, entering the MD PhD program. Rohan Kumaran from Brown University. Layo Lanian from Stanford University. Alexandra Lee from Stanford University, entering the MD PhD program. Chris Junwan Lee from Yale University. Jung Suk Lee from the University of Pennsylvania. Rachel Lee from Johns Hopkins University. Sophia Leong from Harvard University. Jason Linzer from State University of New York at Stony Brook. Bennett Liu from Stanford University. Henry Livingstone from Brigham Young University. Muriel Ma from Emory University. Sahil Malhotra from Duke University. Michelle Mercedes Mantilla from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, entering the MD PhD program. Nicole Inconginere Mbibi from Columbia University. Anna McDonald from Yale University. Rohan Mekela from Georgetown University. Arjun Miklos from Dartmouth College, entering the MD-PhD program. Julia Moorland from the City University of New York, Herbert Lehman College. Bilal Mudin from Harvard University. Kira Nagoshi from Harvard University. Tamara Naidu from Vanderbilt University. Adrian Nguyen from the University of Houston. Carly Obergfell from Brown University. Amy Okafor from the University of Tennessee. Stella Ha-Young Park from Columbia University, entering the MD-PhD program. Allison Pang from the University of California, Los Angeles. Jordan Perez from Case Western Reserve University. Prayamvada Prathima from Johns Hopkins University, entering the MD-PhD program. Raymond Quinones Alvarado from the University of Puerto Rico, Mayagüez. Leah Rando from the University of Pennsylvania. Christian Ringler from the University of California, Berkeley, entering the MD-PhD program. Anjara Rodriguez from the University of Pennsylvania, entering the MD-PhD program. Noam Rottenberg from Johns Hopkins University, entering the MD-PhD program. Alan Ryu from Yale University. Angela Sedlowski from Johns Hopkins University. Vilma St. Louis from the University of Massachusetts, Lowell. Geronimo Salcido from San Diego State University. Eloy Sanchez Jr. from Columbia University. Stephanie Sanjinas from Harvard University, entering the MD-PhD program. Anna Selwyn from Yale University. Kristen C. from Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Malcolm Singh from McGill University. Cameron Stockford from Pitzer College, entering the MD-PhD program. Manu Sundaresan from the University of Chicago, entering the MD-PhD program. Lillian Sutton from the University of Pennsylvania. Anna Keith Tadapari from the University of Alabama. Matthew Taylor Chang from Rice University. Chizoban Ugboacha from University of South Florida. Nathaniel Valanci Martinson from the United States Naval Academy. Meisha Volakanti from the University of Virginia. Celine Wang from the University of California, Berkeley. Elizabeth Watson from Yale University. Jonathan White from the University of Rochester. Kazi Kazaya Okera Wilson from Yale University, entering the MD-PhD program. Doris Yang from Harvard University. Kevin Yang from Yale University. Emmanuel Yobwa from University of Virginia. Brian Jian Zhou from Harvard University. Ahmed Zaid from Iowa State University, entering the MD-PhD program. Now please stand and let us all collectively recognize the Yale School of Medicine class of 2029. Congratulations to you all. You may be seated. At this time, I would like to call Dean Jeremy Moeller to the podium to recite the Class of 2029 pledge.
I would now like to ask the Class of 2029 to please rise and recite the pledge. You may find a copy of the pledge in your program, so please recite along with me. In the tradition of our predecessors, witnessed by our families, friends, and colleagues, and in the service to our future patients, we willingly take this oath. We apply ourselves to developing the foundation of knowledge, skills, and competencies necessary to become exemplary clinicians, scientists, and healthcare leaders dedicated to improving the health of all people. We pledge to support one another in learning, recognizing that the optimal care of patients and the advancement of science and understanding is attained through collaboration and teamwork. We commit to recognize barriers to achieving health equity and to work towards dismantling these barriers. We recognize that achieving true equity requires lifelong education, self-reflection, and commitment to challenge the status quo. We pledge to communicate effectively, respectfully, and compassionately, and to conduct ourselves in accordance with professional and ethical standards. We vow to recognize the influence of our biases and to challenge ourselves to provide equitable care for all, regardless of their cultural, religious, or personal beliefs. We pledge to actively engage cultural humility, striving to address the needs of marginalized communities. We pledge to recognize the contributions of others with gratitude when we succeed, learn from our mistakes when we err, acknowledge our own limitations, and seek guidance when we are uncertain. We vow to nurture our own physical and mental health so that we may offer to our best selves to our patients, loved ones, and communities. We vow to recognize and respect the time, effort, and dedication of those who teach us, mentor us, and support us in our professional development. We recognize that our patients will always be our greatest teachers. With this white coat, we humbly recognize the sacrifices made by those around us, enabling us to pursue this profession, the privileges endowed upon us, and the accompanying responsibilities. We will strive to be worthy of the trust we receive. Together, we rise to the challenges and embrace the opportunities that lie ahead, upholding the principles throughout our careers.
Please be seated. In a moment, we will adjourn so that the class of 2029 can have a photo in front of Sterling Hall, and then we welcome you back here for a reception on Harkness Lawn. But before we adjourn, let me say thank you again, Ben, for setting perspective for us. I'd also like to acknowledge the generosity of our alumni, represented today by Dr. Wilma Korvar and Dr. Alexei Nazim. Earlier in the week, during registration, each of the students was given a name of the alumni donor with whom they have been matched. And today, in your pocket, there is a note from that alumnus. And this tradition connects our class with their predecessors, and in so doing, impresses upon you that you are now part of the School of Medicine forever and part of a community. Lastly, I do want to particularly say thanks to the many people who have worked behind the scene. I see Barbara Watts from admissions over there, Deanna Calvert, Jill Alenti, Alexis Aponte, Joanne Sejot in the Office of Student Affairs, Abby Campbell, Anthony DiCarlo, Andrew Osborne, and Matt Bradbury from the Office of Communications, who were doing our photography and sound and whatnot. This brings us to the conclusion of our ceremony. On behalf of the University and Yale School of Medicine, we're really happy to have you here. We know that you will show all your values, and we will learn much from you. Welcome.